Have you ever wondered how you can make a grass cutter at home? Well, it's simpler than you might think, and the benefits are plenty. Let's start by imagining the satisfaction of creating a useful tool with your own hands. Even better, consider the money you'll save and the convenience of having a tailor-made grass cutter that's designed to fit your specific needs. So what will you need? First, gather some basic materials: a motor, a blade, and a sturdy frame. These are the building blocks of your grass cutter. But don't worry, we're not just talking about any motor or blade. We'll delve deeper into the specifics in the following sections. At its core, a grass cutter is a simple machine. It uses the motor's power to spin the blade at high speeds, effectively cutting grass as you move it around your garden. It's a simple, yet ingenious design. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn a new skill that can save you money and make your gardening tasks easier. Scene script. Before you start building, you need to gather all necessary materials. Let's start with the heart of our grass cutter, the motor. You'll need a small, high-speed motor. You can find these in many household items like old drills, mixers, or even vacuum cleaners. Remember, it's all about reusing and repurposing. Next, we'll need a blade. Safety is paramount here, so the blade should be strong, sharp, and durable. You can use a metal cutting blade from an old circular saw, or purchase a new one from your local hardware store. The body of our grass cutter will be made from a sturdy plastic bucket. This can be any bucket you have lying around the house, or you could grab one from a local store. It should be large enough to house the motor and blade, but not so large that it's unwieldy. Now let's talk about the wheels. For this, you can use old roller skate wheels or wheels from a discarded toy car. 4 wheels will be needed, ensuring stability while the grass cutter is in motion. You'll also need a handle. This can be made from an old broomstick or a piece of metal or wood that's comfortable to hold. Remember, the handle should be long enough for you to operate the grass cutter without having to bend too much. Other necessary materials include a power switch, some electrical wires, an old belt for connecting the motor and the blade, and screws to hold everything together. And finally, don't forget your safety gear. You'll need a pair of safety gloves, goggles, and a dust mask. These can be found at any local hardware store. Remember, creativity is key. You don't need to buy everything new. Look around your house, your garage, or even your local thrift store. You'll be surprised what you can find and repurpose. With these items at hand, you're now ready to kickstart the making process. The first step in the construction process is assembling the body of the grass cutter. Imagine the body as the backbone of our grass cutter. It's the core structure that will hold all other components, like the blade and the motor. Hence, it's essential to ensure it's sturdy and robust. Now, let's get started. The body is typically composed of a sturdy metal frame, designed to weather the elements and stand up to the rigors of gardening. This frame is often made from steel or aluminum for durability and strength. To assemble the body, we'll need to secure the different parts together. This is typically done using a combination of screws, nuts, and bolts. Start by laying out the parts of the frame on a flat surface. Make sure you have a clear view of all the holes where the screws, nuts, and bolts will go. Next, you'll want to start attaching the parts together. Pick up a screw, align it with the corresponding hole in the frame, and use a screwdriver to secure it in place. Continue this process until all the parts of the frame are connected. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Then, you'll want to ensure that all the screws are tight. This is crucial to prevent any wobbling or instability in the structure. Use a wrench to tighten each bolt until it's snug, but be careful not to over-tighten and strip the threads. Why is a sturdy body so important, you ask? Well, a robust body will provide a stable base for the other components of the grass cutter. It ensures that the blade and motor stay in place, reducing the risk of damage or injury. It's also designed to withstand the rigors of gardening. It will face exposure to the elements, bumps, and possibly even a few accidental drops. A sturdy body is therefore crucial to the longevity and effectiveness of your homemade grass cutter. Now that the body is assembled, we're ready to move on to the blade. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get ready for the next step in our grass cutter construction journey. The blade is an essential component of a grass cutter, and attaching it properly is crucial. We've now arrived at a key part of our grass cutter's assembly journey, attaching the blade. This is the heart of our device, the part that takes on the lion's share of the work. It's like a chef's knife, but for the grass. The blade we're going to attach is a standard, flat type, suitable for most garden needs. It's sharp, durable, and designed to provide an even, clean cut. Now, let's get to it. First, we need to ensure that the body of the grass cutter is stable. We wouldn't want it moving about while attaching the blade, would we? You can achieve this by placing the body on a flat surface, or better yet, secure it with clamps if you have them. Next, locate the blade mounting hole on the body of the grass cutter. This is where we'll be attaching our blade. Slip the blade onto the mounting hole. Make sure the cutting edge of the blade is facing outward. The last thing we want is to cut the grass with the blunt edge. Now comes a crucial part, securing the blade. For this, we will use a bolt and a nut. Insert the bolt through the blade and the mounting hole, and then secure it with the nut on the other side. It's a good idea to tighten it with a wrench for an extra secure fit. Once the blade is attached, it's time to check its alignment. The blade should be parallel to the body of the grass cutter. If it's not, you may need to loosen the bolt slightly and adjust the blade until it is. Remember, a well-attached and aligned blade not only ensures a clean cut, but also reduces wear and tear on your grass cutter. It's worth taking the time to get this right. With the blade securely attached, you're one step closer to having a fully functioning grass cutter. Now, it's time to give your grass cutter some power with a motor. The heart of our grass cutter is the motor. It's what provides the power to spin the blade and slice through the grass like butter. But how exactly do we attach the motor to our grass cutter? Let's dive in. First off, you'll need to align the motor with the center of the grass cutter's body. This is crucial as it ensures the blade spins evenly and cuts the grass uniformly. Once you've found that sweet spot, secure the motor in place. Some prefer to use sturdy bolts, while others might opt for heavy-duty ties. Choose what works best for your design and materials. Now, let's talk about connecting the motor to the blade. This is typically done using a simple belt drive system. The belt attaches to a pulley on the motor and a pulley on the blade, transferring the motor's rotational force to the blade. You'll need to ensure the belt is taut, but not overly tight. A loose belt can slip, causing the blade to spin inconsistently, while an overly tight belt can cause unnecessary strain on the motor. Once you've connected the blade to the motor, the next step is to connect the motor to a power source. Depending on your design, this could be a battery or a power cord. Always remember to follow safety guidelines when working with electricity, and if you're unsure, don't hesitate to consult with a professional. Before you start cutting, it's essential to test your setup. Start the motor and let it run for a few minutes. Watch out for any unusual vibrations or sounds. If everything is running smoothly, then congratulations, you've successfully attached the motor to your grass cutter. With a functioning motor, your grass cutter is nearly complete. It's time to move on to the final touches and safety measures, ensuring your homemade grass cutter is not only effective, but also safe to use. Before you start using your homemade grass cutter, there are a few final touches and safety measures to consider. First and foremost, adding a handle to your grass cutter is essential. This gives you control and stability while operating the machine, ensuring a neat and even cut across your lawn. Let's not forget safety. A shield is absolutely necessary. This barrier between you and the spinning blade helps prevent any unfortunate accidents. It's a simple addition that gives peace of mind, making your grass cutting experience both safe and enjoyable. Once you've added these elements, it's time to test the grass cutter in a controlled environment. This step is crucial as it allows you to spot any potential issues before you begin regular use. Make sure the blade is spinning evenly and the motor is running smoothly. Congratulations! You've successfully built a grass cutter at home. Remember, safety first.